Looking to reconnect, recharge, and grow alongside women in agriculture and food? Join the Advancing Women Conference happening November 23rd through 25th, 2025 at the Sheraton Fallsview in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Hear from inspiring leaders who are shaping the future of ag and food, gain practical insights to support your personal and professional growth, and build meaningful connections with like-minded women from across the industry. For all the details and to save your seat, check out the link in today's show notes. Hi, I'm Caitlin Dubin, and this is the Rural Woman Podcast. I'm a first-generation farmer who married into agriculture. Born and raised in a city, I was so unfamiliar with where my food came from, but I was determined to figure it out. Through my journey into agriculture, I saw women who were strong but humble, often taking a back seat. To me, these women were leaders who deserved a seat at the table. I created the Rural Woman Podcast to share the voices of women in an industry whose stories often went untold. The rural entrepreneurs who live and breathe their work, full of grit and pride. We come here to share our stories, to be in community with each other, to be challenged and inspired, but most importantly, to be celebrated and to be heard. We may not all live, farm, ranch, or homestead the same, but we are all connected. We are rural women, and our stories are worthy of being told. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Rural Woman Podcast. We are sharing a special 2-part series featuring mini interviews recorded live from the 2025 Advancing Women in Agriculture West Conference, held this spring in Calgary, Alberta. While attending the conference, I had the opportunity to sit down with a handful of incredible women who showed up to learn, connect, and share their passion for agriculture. These short but meaningful conversations highlight just a few of the powerful voices within this vibrant community. Whether you're listening to part 1 or part 2, I hope these stories inspire you the same way they inspired me. Without further ado, my friends, let's dive into this special series of the 2025 Advancing Women in Agriculture West Conference. Welcome. Tell us your name and who you are and what your connection to agriculture is.
Thank you. I'm Sylvia VonGunten, as I have to read it off my name tag like I don't know. My connection to agriculture is I was born onto a family farm. We're called Wild Bronco Ranch. We're originally a dairy farm, and then we added in beef, and then we do put up all our own crop and then do some cash crop on the side. And yeah, it's we're a first generation farm. My parents came from Switzerland, and we were raised very much with building and running the farm, and it's brought a lot of opportunities into life as we go forward. And that's why I'm here today, I guess, if we go back to how I got here.
That's amazing. That's so good. So being born and raised on a farm, what are some of your favorite childhood memories of being on the farm?
Oh my goodness, so many. We definitely had a bit of a different childhood than most people, but for us, it was always fun. Yeah, my parents, they took on a huge dream and worked very hard, and then they made sure we still had like a lot of fun with it. Like they included us. I still remember they'd be like processing calves, and then we wanted to help, but we were still a bit too small. So we'd like go to the chicken house and we'd put them in the little egg boxes and we'd pretend to process the chickens. And those poor chickens, I think we processed them so much. They were so tame, but like nothing but good things. And even as just like you go forward in life, it's funny, like when you're younger, you're kind of like, oh, I have to go do chores, or I can't go do this, or mom and dad can't come watch me play basketball. But they were always like, yeah, you guys can do any sports you want. Just know, like, we got to milk cows. We're cheering you on, but we might not always get there. And I still remember sometimes there's those parents that's like, hey, my kid should play, like put him in there. And I was like, hey mom, like I'm better than that kid. But like their mom keeps saying like, put them in. And so I'm here. And then I still remember this to this day. She's just like, well, she's like, at the end of the day, characters are going to reveal itself, or the hard work is going to reveal itself. So she's like, if you want to be playing, she's like, you got to run faster, jump higher. And she's like, and just work hard. She's like, you'll get on there. And kind of, they're always so supportive, and they still are. So just like lots of things that were I think I came with lots of different strengths thanks to the farm that I didn't even know about until I'm older, and I'm kind of looking back like, hey, I was really, really lucky to grow up the way I did, even though when we were kids, we're like, we have to do chores or this or that.
Right. The character that comes out of having to do barn chores is like make or break for a lot of people.
Yes, character development, I call it now when we
Yeah.
have younger kids and we're making them do things. I'm like, it's good character development for them. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you been to the Advancing Women's Conference before?
No, and I almost don't want to even say it out loud or even on here, but I guess here I am. So I was getting all these emails in February, early February, and even got this like call, and I only kind of listened to the beginning of it. And it's like, hey, the Advancing Women in Ag Notables is coming up, this and that. And I'm very busy sometimes and don't slow down enough to like sift through all the emails and phone calls and just think I take the important ones. And I really should have paid attention because then March 8th, International Women's Day rolls around. And I remember I was at the Western Dairy Seminar. I was in Red Deer and I was a keener and I sat in the front for the presentation and my phone was blowing up, but I'm not going to go on it and check or what's going on. But anyways, short story long, or long story short, I was a nominee and a notable for the Advancing Women in Ag. And I feel like almost like rude or ignorant that I like didn't even know I was in it and made it that far. And I still remember I called my sister and I was like full of imposter syndrome. I was kind of like, I don't know how I'm in this. Like, I think I'm over my head and I'm supposed to do all these things and I didn't even do them. And then I like qualified all the way to the thing and I'm supposed to go to the event. And I was so happy to have her support because she's so grounding. She's like, hey, you so deserve this. And I so needed to hear that from someone. And we were just talking here and it's like, a goal of mine is that I don't need that validation from other people to feel like, yeah, I can be here, but I'm still struggling with I need the validation that I can be here and I deserve to be here or that you're good enough. I think everyone struggles with. So, I was a nominee and a notable for the Advancing Women in Ag, and we did make it all the way through. And I feel like the universe was maybe just saying, like, hey, slow down. Like, I was just in a very kind of head down, work, do this, do that, feeling like I wasn't showing up good enough, although that was my own self criticism. So, it was a very nice kind of, hey, give yourself some validation. Go to the thing. I came to the whole conference, and it's been really great, and it's just nice. I don't know. I think it's just healing a little part of that. You don't think you're good enough, so to say. And then I don't want to say there's struggles we face, but there's self-doubt and those expectations you face. And it's just been nice that like, hey, you're not alone in it. Like everyone feels it and people being like as friendly and kind and validating. And like I got to be at a table with believe I'm forgetting her name right now. The lady the CEO of the Little Potatoes company.
Yep.
But I got to be at a breakfast with her yesterday, sitting at the same table and just like, I sat at that table and there's a lot of older ladies than me. And I remember just sitting there being like, oh my goodness, they probably think like, just this girl who maybe she doesn't even know how to do this or that. And in my head, I'm like, you can drive a big truck. You have your class one, you farm, you can do this. Like you could definitely outwork her, like, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're just in your head. Like, and I'm just like, just be here, like get out of it. And they're all so kind. Like everyone, is there. And like, no one's here to like judge you. They're just here to work with you and talk with you and walk you through it. And just like the realness of the people and stuff. And I think it just helps shut up those bad little voices in your head that are maybe being mean or like judging yourself and saying, hey, you don't deserve to sit here. The women uplifting each other is definitely kind of turned that voice off a bit. So that's good.
Absolutely. And you need to know that you're not alone with the mean girl voices in your head. As a person who, my first Advancing Women conference that I came to was 7 years ago. And I came here as just a farmer and a relatively new farmer. And I was like, I'm going to get got here. They're going to figure out that I'm not supposed to be here. And that's never happened. It's never happened the entire time I've came here. Yeah. And the confidence that I hope you leave with will project you forward in your career and really feeling like you belong at a table. And if that is the one piece of wisdom that you can leave, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to reflect on what you're doing and to know the importance and value of it. So That's my piece of wisdom that I hope you bring with, and absolutely very deserving of a nomination. And thank you for sharing your story with me.
Yeah, no, thank you. And thank you for, yeah, that the wisdom is truly coming from a wise fuck. Because even, I don't know if I talked to you on the first day or if it was yesterday, but I still remember you introducing yourself, being very friendly and welcoming and saying, oh, like you're going to come back for the interviews. And I still remember on that day, I was like, yeah, heck no. Like, I'm just this little thing over here. Like they don't need to interview me. And so I guess even within the 42 hours or 72 hours of, getting to like, yeah, feel empowered and turning that voice off. Here I am talking to you, and I was telling her too.
I
I was
told
like,
you would be back.
literally,
They always come back.
yeah, I know. I was thinking this morning, I was kind of jittery. I was like, no, I'm not going. I was like, yes, you're going. That's what this weekend is about. Like, go and do the things,
Absolutely.
and yeah, it's for each other, and just like with your stuff too. I'm sure you don't probably always hear the full effect, but even just by what you do, I hope you know that it like projects a way bigger picture that you don't always get to see that ripple effect. So, likewise.
Thank you. Welcome. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what your connection to agriculture is.
My name is Mallory Kaiser. I live in the northwest part of the province of Alberta, a region called Peace Country, and more to get more down to it, I'm northwest of Grand Prairie. And there I work and raise goats on my farm, and we also farm 5,000 acres with my parents. We raise Kiko goats for meat, and we also, for the grain side of it, we do canola, wheat, oats, and green peas. And how I'm involved in the industry is I am the president of the Alberta Goat Association, and I sit as the vice chair of the Canadian National Goat Federation.
Amazing. The listeners of the podcast that are here for the last 6 years, they heard what you do for a living and they were excited for me because they must know how excited I am to meet the president of the Alberta Goat Association as a goat person myself. So, how did you get into raising goats?
In 2012, I was looking to get back into the cattle industry because our family farm had about 100 head of Black Angus. But when I was in college, my grandfather got sick and I wasn't around to be that second hand. So they sold them all, and I was still looking for that livestock connection. I love animals. And I happened to listen to CBC radio, and past president of Alberta Goat, Lori Freeze, was on, and she was talking about how 60% of the world's red meat consumption is goat meat. So you look at South America, you look at Eastern Europe, large parts of Asia and Africa continent, they all eat goat meat. And with so many new Canadians coming in, we can't keep up with the demand of goat meat. So we actually import, as of this last 2023 stat, we import 80% of our goat meat from Australia and New Zealand. So there's a Canadian demand for that. But obviously we're competing with it, but we're that. So that just made sense to me. My husband was a country kid, but not really a strong farm kid. So starting out with goats seemed pretty easy to us, having to deal with a 1,400 pound cow and her being ornery and him not knowing how to handle it by himself, if he was by himself or if I was by myself. So yeah, we started going to some goat conferences and looking at different breeds because they would have show and sales there. And I fell in love with the Kiko goat from New Zealand. So
Absolutely. What was it about the Kiko goat that you loved the most?
well, in comparable, like looking at the cattle industry, where those Black Angus cows are just their hardiness and all their features that they had, I saw that the Kiko goat had a lot of those similar features, right? So everybody, when they were coming to establish New Zealand, they brought their goats from all over the world, and then eventually they came super feral. So they started calling them down and picking them for keeping the does and animals that had the best traits. So the best feet, the best teeth, the best bag, mothering skills, meat, able to produce enough meat and off those kids off of a young age. And I was like, low maintenance. I this is what I like.
Yep.
And so that's the reasons I went with it. And also, they've got these really cool long horns, and I'm kind of a bit of an antler nut as well for collecting sheds in the springtime.
Absolutely. If somebody's listening right now who has considered getting into goats, what is your best piece of advice for them?
Is to buy from a breeder that has their health records and things established. Often people, when they're selling their livestock at market, are often selling their culls. And you're not, yeah, you're getting a good deal on them, but you're also probably going to be coming home with more problems and headaches, and it will completely discourage you from being in the industry. So look for a reputable breeder is always the I think one of the big steps there, and making sure your fencing is if it's strong enough to hold, if it can hold water, it can hold a goat.
Exactly. That was my only add on if you weren't going to say it. Mallory, what have been some of your biggest key takeaways from the Advancing Women's Conference?
Some of the workshops that we had done was I learned that LinkedIn is really important, especially for my role as the Alberta Go president. That is something I have made, but I thought it was just kind of like a knockoff Facebook. And I was like, oh, another app thing to keep up with. And I wasn't seeing a lot of value in it, but I learned that it is really important for industry and marketing. And I was like, okay, so that's really good to take away. And then also one thing I want to bring back to my board. So when we do get new board members, is that should probably get trained in how boards of governance work, so that yes, they're there and they're learning kind of like as we are moving along, but they can't say that they don't understand what's happening in the meeting or how motions work because here's the training for that. So I think that's really good to bring that back for all goat boards, because there's some that aren't, that have been revitalized and just don't have that structure yet and don't quite understand, like, no, you need a motion to make when you're going to spend money. You can't just go and be like, yeah, I'll take care of this, it's great, but you still need the board's permission to do something.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing your story with me. I appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Hello. Tell us your name, where you're from, and what your connection to agriculture is.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cynthia Zhang, and I work for RBC Dominion Security. And my connection to agriculture, actually, I grew up on a farm. Agriculture is always part of my life. And actually, I am invited by a friend who owns a farm. So that's the reason why I'm here today.
Very cool. Tell us about the farm you grew up on.
Oh, okay. There's a little bit of story. I'm from China, actually, and I grew up at the countryside, and every family have a small farm. I mean, why I say small is compared with the farm I see in Alberta, right? And so my parents actually grow. Like we grow wheat, we grow corn, we grow like canola, some canola, and also vegetables on the farm. Yeah.
Very cool. What's your favorite childhood memory of being on the farm?
Oh, I love your question, to be honest. Funny enough, like when we were little, we always want to involve into the farm work, but you have limited capacity, right? So, but when you invite your friend join the to do it together, it's fun and you have a bigger impact. So my best memory is when I was in elementary school. We have a bunch of girls. We said, okay, whose family is going to harvest the corn? We all go to help her, and then we take turns, right? I still remember until nowadays, like we did it together. I don't know the quality of the work we did as a kid, but we had fun. We had fun. That will be one of the memory I always remember, and I share with my children until nowadays.
Absolutely. I love that. And, you mentioned obviously the scales of farming in Alberta is different than the scale of farming in China or anywhere smaller. But with your connection to agriculture through RBC, tell us more about your role with RBC and what you do.
Okay, so I am in the Dominion Securities side of the business. We are more focusing on the wealth management. And actually, I would love to answer the question of what my experience working with farmers here. And the truth is, I'm shocked, and I'm in a good way. I do talk with some of my farmer clients or prospects, some of our prospects. They are so smart and they are actually sophisticated business person, which impressed me because my parents, to be honest, they are just farmers, and we like related to my childhood, we don't need to worry about commodity price. We don't need to worry about expand our products to overseas market, right? Because as I mentioned, we are smaller scale, but here the farmers, they have very strong voice. they actually provide commodities to the world to live on, right? Like I know a farmer who actually supply hays to China and to Japan. I when I talk with them, they are I'm very I respect them a lot. They have very sophisticated business understanding of the word, of what's like their they have vision. How do they develop their business and their family work tied together? I'm impressed. Yes.
That's amazing. Is your first time at Advancing Women Conference, or have you been here before?
First time.
First time. What has been some of your key takeaways that you're going to bring home with you after the conference?
I joined some of the other agriculture related events, and I even talked with some of the college who actually one of the college I talked to is Oates University College. I think it's college. Sorry, and their principal there actually mentioned it's hard for them to recruit students. They when the students register in their program, they can find job easily. But it's just like so difficult to find the talents who are committed, young people committed to into agriculture. But today, after I see like it's such a like a vibrant community, I do see there is a hope and. I think, agriculture is the base of everything, right? We eat, we grow things, right? It's all provided by agriculture industry. And I still hope there's a lot of like young professionals who would love to involve into this industry. And that's why I'm here. I want to be part of it. And I would love to help and to see what I can do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Hello. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what your connection to agriculture is.
So my name is Gail Cunningham. My husband and I are primary agriculture producers just outside of Camrose, Alberta, near a very tiny, tiny hamlet containing a post office called Kelsey, Alberta. So we have been grain producers, cattle producers, and I am also a large animal / food animal veterinarian by trade. So deep roots in agriculture that have stayed my entire life.
Absolutely. Gail, you spoke on a topic yesterday here at the Advancing Women Conference that affects all women. Can you tell us a little bit about your presentation?
I will. So this was one of my first presentations that I've done. I have started speaking on perimenopause and menopause. It's a topic that I think menopause is having its moment in social media, but women still lack the real accurate information that they can use to change their journey. Every woman's journey is unique. Everyone's symptoms are unique. But our physicians currently are lacking recognizing the symptoms and therapy, number one. And number two, women are lacking access to appropriate treatment and information options. It's starting to change, but our rural women especially struggle for women's health specialist access. A friend of mine, I've been helping her trying to find a women's health specialist. She contacted a menopause clinic in Edmonton. It's a 2-year wait. It's by referral only now, and they're getting 20 to 30 referrals a week. So this is a space that needs more people, more information, and for us to talk about it to help each other.
Absolutely. What has been some of the reaction from the women who were sitting in your session? I'm assuming that some women maybe haven't even started to have these conversations. Like, what were some of the questions? What were the reactions?
Well, first of all, shock. One thing that really got me into this was I attended a Canadian Menopause Society conference in Vancouver. My daughter attends school there. I happened to be in town when it was on, so I went with a physician friend of mine. I saw a picture of what is called genitourinary syndrome that affects up to 40% of women, where essentially your vagina shrinks and narrows to the point that your urethra is so exposed it causes all kinds of urinary tract infections, etc. And I saw that and my face dropped and I thought, wow, I thought I was educated and I know nothing. So first of all, shock at what can happen. The reactions I've gotten since the presentation are thank you. Thank you for giving me straight shooting, real information. One of the things I talk about is having an appropriate conversation with your doctor to advocate for yourself and how to do that. And that was really a big piece for them.
Yeah, that's so good. Is this your first time at Advancing Women or just first time presenting?
It's my first time advancing women, and I am loving it. I will be back to everyone I can possibly attend.
That's amazing. What have been some of the key takeaways that you have yourself from the people that have been here, from the presentations you see? What are some of the things that you're walking away with today?
So number one, connection. And, that's one of the things I talk about in my talk, but I'm like, wow, these women get it. And I think it's going to start to change. Number two, the amazing things that all these women are doing. I think it's fabulous, and creating this community for us to lift each other up. That's something I needed years ago, was somebody to just reach down and pull me up. And that's happening here. And it's something we need to continue.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks, Gail.
Thank you.
This is your invitation to invest in you as a leader, a professional, and a woman in agriculture. Mark your calendars for November 23rd through 25th, 2025, and make your way to the Sheraton Falls View in Niagara Falls, Ontario for the Advancing Women in Agriculture Conference, a powerful event designed to support, connect, and uplift women across the agriculture and food industry. Whether you're a student, producer, entrepreneur, or working in the agribusiness field, you'll walk away with fresh ideas, new connections, and the confidence to keep moving forward. Through sessions focused on communication and coaching, mentorship, networking, financial confidence, health and work-life balance, career planning, and goal setting, AWC gives you the tools and inspiration to thrive in every part of your life. With a strong history of bringing together women from across Canada and the US, the Advancing Women Conference delivers world-class speakers from industry experts to motivational leaders. Don't miss your chance to be a part of it. Head to the link in today's show notes or visit advancingwomenconference.ca to register. Hi there. I'm so excited to chat with you. Tell us your name, who you are, where you're from, and what your connection to agriculture is.
I'm Eva Mutua, Kenyan. So I'm from Kenya. I'm a veterinarian, and I'm very, very passionate about agriculture, and especially the animal behavior and welfare space. So my affiliation to the Advancing Women Conference, I'm doing my PhD currently. So that's how I got to be here.
That's amazing. What made you decide that you wanted to do your studies in Canada?
Well, mine is a whole journey, so I can give you a recap of it. So, for my undergrad, I did veterinary medicine. I was always very passionate about animals, like always curious. Like, why is that dog doing what it's doing? What is happening? Then, after my undergraduate, I was like, if I'd ever do a master's, I'd love to do a master's in animal behavior and welfare. So in Kenya, they don't offer exclusively just that. So I was like, okay, I hope that someday something will show up. I thank God so much because I got the opportunity and I got a scholarship to get to go to the University of Edinburgh to do my master's. So in applied animal behavior and animal welfare. So during my thesis, I worked in the cow-calf sector, so understanding maternal behavior in the dairy industry. So after that, I said that if I'd ever do a PhD, I'd want to do a PhD again in the cow-calf sector. So after my master's, I tried finding something in that area and I didn't at that time. So I went back to Kenya, started up a consultancy in animal behavior and animal welfare. Then, after 1 year, I found it actually through LinkedIn, my PhD. There was an advertisement, and my supervisor was doing a project in the cow calf sector. So, maternal behavior in the cow calf sector, but in beef cattle. And I was like, that's what I'd love to do. And that's how I'm in Canada now.
That's amazing. Is this your first time at the Advancing Women's Conference, or have you been here before?
This is my first time.
How is it?
I love it. I love it. It's amazing. Like, I really, really love it. And there's something amazing about it, about the people who are here.
about the stories that you're hearing and especially about the topics that they're giving. I'm really, really impressed by the fact that they're really embracing the mental health space. There's a lot of allowing people, yes, to be the strong women that we are, but to understand that we have the capacity of being ourselves. So there's a lot of people being themselves here. People like embracing each other here. And I just love it because all what I can see is people being themselves and just showing up for who they actually are. I really like it.
Amazing. I love that point. And it's a very special thing when women specifically are allowed to feel safe in spaces and be ourselves and be excited about the industry that we're in. So thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what your connection to agriculture is.
Okay, I am Roxy Braun. I am from Saskatchewan, a little farm in the central spot. I am born and raised cattle and grain farm, and now we currently have a 400 head cattle operation.
Amazing. Tell me some of your favorite childhood memories from growing up.
Oh my God, we would play. This is so embarrassing, but me and my sister would play in the kraals in springtime, and the cow frozen poop was rabbits, and we would collect them and make like herds of rabbits and pretend that there were rabbits in the trees.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I know, literally farm kid to its core.
Right? I grew up in the city, so when I hear these stories, I'm immediately jealous. I'm just like, we had such a board. I played Nintendo 64. Like, we didn't have any fun frozen poop to play with.
I know, and we grew up in a no technology house when
Right.
it was light. So you could have a TV on during nighttime, but during the day we were not. So you just came up with like the most wildest things
Right.
possible.
That's awesome. Roxy, I am trying my best to stay in my appropriate booth over here so I don't buy an entire new wardrobe from you beside me. So tell us a little bit about your boutique and when you started it and what it is.
Okay, so it is called Backroad Boutique, and we started it, or I guess I always refer to we, but it is just me, a one-woman show. I started it 6 years ago, and I just saw the need for rural women to get affordable, cute Western clothes that weren't unethically made and like adorable, because you can never find that anywhere, and also affordable. When you were buying online, I was paying double to triple the prices for the exact same items. So we brought it to life, and we traveled 9 months of the year. So every weekend we're gone, and we get in front of our customers. So we try not let you pay shipping because we want to see you. So we travel between Manitoba, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and some of BC.
It's amazing. You have beautiful things.
Well, thank you. It literally is whatever I like. And then I also hand make all the embroidery stuff myself and design it.
Amazing. So good. Is this your first time at the Advancing Women's Conference?
Yes, it is.
Tell me how it's going so far for you.
I love it. It is definitely such a broad spectrum of women all across Canada and even into the US, which I wasn't aware of. I thought it was just an Alberta women conference. And when I came, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it's totally something undescribable, and you can't really explain it until you're here. Like, the conversations are both like people want to talk to you. You're not just prodding people. It's definitely different.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's plug the boutique. Where can people find all of your cute goods and clothes and all of the things too?
Okay, so you can follow us, I recommend, on Instagram at Backroad Boutiques, all one word, and then on our website, www.backroadboutique.org. And yeah, just come and check us out. We're a lifestyle brand, so when you do come on our Instagram page, you may see some calves being born, but yeah, you'll have a nice egg experience as well.
Absolutely. Everybody loves a good baby cow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what your connection to agriculture is.
My name is Shawnee Hrabec. I currently live on a farm near Holden, Alberta. And my connection to agriculture is I grew up in a entrepreneurship family who does custom egg work. And I am currently married to a farmer, as well as I run a custom agricultural soil testing business for the past 12 years. And I recently started a cut flower farm.
So just a little busy then.
Yes.
So tell me about the soil sampling. If somebody is listening right now who has never sampled their soil, what is your elevator pitch to them? Why should they start soil sampling?
Well, if you are growing any kind of crop, you know that the most important thing to your crop is your soil health. So, of course, you want to sample your soil so that you know what's in there. It's great to find out your nutrients if you have deficiencies. And it's a great way to save money and put money where you need it so that you can get those yields that you want and the vigor and the health and everything else that a crop needs.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about your flower farm. What inspired you to start flower farming?
Well, I have always loved flowers. I mean, who doesn't? They smell good, they're pretty. I have always had a love for gardening. So, just I had a little shift in my career. I did work in environmental for a little while, and I've got 3 small children. So, with my third one, I decided that I could no longer put the hours into the environmental work because it doesn't involve them. You know, they don't understand you're sitting on a computer. So I decided that, I would like to make a profit with one of my hobbies. So that's gardening and growing flowers. So I just decided that, this is something that my kids can join me in. They can work with me, and it's just much more manageable with everything at home. And it's just fun. It's fun to grow, it's fun to learn, and there's never an end.
Right? Yeah, and all the good things about flowers. I always say secretly I think I want a flower farm, but I don't think I would give any of the flowers away. I would just keep them all for myself selfishly.
Yeah, it was my very first market. I did shed a couple tears cutting all the flowers, but I did know they would grow back.
Yes, absolutely. Have you been to the Advancing Women's Conference before?
No, this is my first year.
How do you like it so far?
I'm loving it. It's a great environment. Everybody's just so willing to talk. Like, I came here not knowing a single soul, and I was extremely nervous. This is my second shirt today. I sweated through the first. And yeah, it's been amazing just, chatting with everybody, and everybody's just welcoming and very like two-sided conversations, which is nice.
Absolutely. Well, we're so glad you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so good. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what your connection to agriculture is.
So I'm Heather Zurel. I'm from St. John's, Newfoundland. And my husband and I just started farming a couple years ago after more than a decade of gardening. It's been such an exciting career and life transition. And at around the same time we started the farm, I also had changed my career after almost a decade in medical research and then manufacturing for a little bit as a data scientist. I started thinking about how I could use my skills and my background to help make the most of the farm. Because when my husband's grandparents farmed, his parents didn't, and we didn't really kind of have a lot of that generational knowledge that many farmers do. So I started looking at all the different ag tech out there, and it's really, really cool. It's also really complicated, really difficult to interpret and to understand how to use this data and how to use this information to make better decisions on the farm. So that's when I started Data Farms. So it's been only a few years, but very exciting.
Very cool. In your opinion, what has been like the biggest catalyst of growth when it comes to ag technology in your relatively short time in this area?
I think one of the biggest challenges that I've noticed in adoption is just how complicated the information is. And, a lot of scientists, a lot of data scientists like me will do our work, we'll present our information, but we don't really think that, most people out there don't have experience reading data from graphs, and what do you do with it, right? So a lot of what we learned is, to drive adoption and to make sure it works in the farmer's workflow, instead of presenting, okay, here's your weather station data, here's your drone data, we put the dashboards together so that basically the farmer is making a decision in the field. So one example is our frost dashboard, and another one is kind of precipitation and irrigation and evapotranspiration. So what's been really important to get the farmers to actually adopt ag tech is that it fits seamlessly in their workflow, and that they don't have to research, okay, what does this mean for me? What do I have to do about it? So I think that's one of the most important things.
Yeah, making it simple and accessible, right?
Exactly.
To understand what this data is for and how it can help you. And like you said, making it a seamless transition into their operation is so important. Have you been to the Advancing Women conference before?
No, this is my first time.
First time. And you flew across the country to be here. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How do you like it so far?
It's been an incredible experience. I've met farmers, I've met business people, I've met scientists, and compared to where I farm, it's a much smaller industry. There's a few hundred farms on the island, but the scale here is so different, and it's been really cool to hear about different types of farming and kind of what someone's day-to-day is like. We're all farmers, but it's so different.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you so much, Heather.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. My first question for you, tell us who you are, where you're from, and how you're connected to agriculture.
My name is Julianne Warner. I'm from Makwa, Saskatchewan, and I come from a cow-calf operation that me and my family run. I'm a fifth-generation farmer, so kind of down the line and carry on the generation. And this past spring, I just graduated from Lakeline College with my diploma in agribusiness, and I've now continued on to the U of S, and I'm getting my degree. And yeah, I just love agriculture, and it's something I'm passionate about and love doing and love living the life in it.
Absolutely. I love that. So you're fifth generation, born and raised on the farm that you grew up on. What are some of your favorite memories as being a kid on a cow-calf operation?
Honestly, it's just going outside and doing things as a family, and even as if it's as simple as just going and taking twine off the bales, and or going and checking cows. And this past summer, it was really nice because we kept one of our herds close to the house, and so we would just go up to each other and and be like, oh, do you want to just go check cows? And we just hop in the gator and go and check cows, and it was fun. And some of the best conversations, and it was actually kind of cool, since they were close to home, we were able to keep my sister's show animals quite calm and halter broke. And there was the Makwa homecoming. They do it every 10 years or whatever, and they do a parade with it. So we're okay, what are we gonna do? We should put something in, because we've been in this area for a while. So we decided, oh, won't it be cool if we walk our cows through the parade? And honestly, it was so much fun, and something we'll look back on from it. Yeah, and something that was so worth it and brought happiness to it was just super cool and fun.
I always feel like people should be happy when they see cows. I certainly am always happy when I see cows, and especially in settings that cows are not normally, like walking down a small town road. So that's amazing. Is this your first time at Advancing Women Conference?
No, this is actually my second year. I came last year, and honestly, it's so much fun. It's so empowering. You leave feeling like you could take on the world, and it's so cool to be able to come and hear everybody's stories and how their path has gone so far.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Rural Woman Podcast. The Rural Woman Podcast is more than just a podcast. We are a community. A huge thank you to the Rural Woman Podcast team, audio editor Max Hofer. A special thanks to our Patreon executive producers, Sarah Riedner from Happiness by the Acre. To learn how you can become a Patreon executive producer or other ways to financially support the show, head on over to wildrosefarmer.com to learn more. Be sure to hit the follow or subscribe button wherever you listen to the podcast to get the latest episodes directly on your playlist. And if you are loving the show, please be sure to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or any other platform that accepts ratings and reviews. You can connect with us on social media at The Rural Woman Podcast and with me at Wild Rose Farmer. One of the best ways you can support the show is by sharing it. Send this episode to a friend or share on your social media. Let's strengthen and amplify the voices of women in agriculture together. Until next time, my friend, keep sharing your story. Did you know that you can get this same great episode of the Rural Woman Podcast ad-free? I get it. Listening to ads during a podcast isn't always my favorite either. But in order to keep the lights and coffee pot on here at the Rural Woman Podcast Studios, they are necessary. I am so grateful to each and every one of my sponsors, but if you yourself would like to skip the ads while supporting the show, consider joining me over on Patreon. Patrons of the Rural Woman Podcast get ad-free episodes starting at Tier 5 on their podcast player of choice each week, plus some other great benefits. Find out more by heading to the link in today's show notes to learn how you can become a patron through Patreon.